Welcome back. This is your host, Doyennix. Oh, I'm so sorry. Messed that up. Well, welcome back, guys. It's Doyennix Talks. I'm your host, Doyennix. And I want to start off by saying, comment down below. Let me know a stock that you guys want me to talk about. Leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Follow me on Instagram at Nix Talks. I'll be posting more stuff about beginner terms for people who learn about stocks. Some books I'm reading to help you with anything. Not with anything, but books I'm reading. I'm gonna share it there, and maybe talk about some of my stock purchases and sells and buys I've done and options I've tried out, and so you guys be like, oh he did that, so maybe I could do this to better my odds or something. Just let you guys know what I've done, so you can you'll use it to better your chances. I should say. DM me at Nix Talks on Instagram. Let me know what kind of stocks you guys want me to talk about. There's more stuff coming out. Stay tuned. Remember, I am not a financial advisor. I am just a 22-year-old guy who sits in the parking lot and talk to you guys about stocks. I am not trying to tell you guys what stocks to buy, what stocks to own, what stocks to sell. I'm just picking these stocks at random and just talking about them. My goal is to get out at least one video every week for the entire month of April. So stay tuned for it. I'm going to put a lot more stuff on my Instagram so you guys can look at it and be like, oh, okay, So stay tuned for all that. Remember, I'm just having fun talking to you guys about stocks. These are not financial tips, advice, or anything. Even though it might sound like it, it's not. I'm just giving you what I honestly think. If the stock has good stuff, I'm like, hey, look, that looks good, or hey, that looks kind of bad. I'm not telling you guys to buy or sell it, whatever. I'm just saying, like, hey, look, you want to look for stocks that has this type of things. Now, let's get into the video. Today, we're talking about Visa. Visa is an American multinational corporation that focuses on financial services. Visa provides other financial institutions like banks with their brand Visa. Financial institutions, Financial institutions then use the Visa brand to offer debit, credit, cash, and prepaid programs to their customers. Visa was first started in 1958 when Bank of America released the Bank of America card. Fun fact, the Bank of America card, what did I say? The Bank of America card is one word, and it is the first modern day credit card. It's considered one of the first modern day credit cards. If you guys don't know what a credit card is, it's basically a card. It's a payment card where the card holder, which is you, use it to buy some products or services from a merchant, which is the store, and in return you will pay back the issuer, which is the bank who gave you the card, and you pay them back whatever you owe plus fees and interest if you owe any. Fun fact, Visa is not a bank. It does not issue cards or set interest rate or fees. This whole time I really thought Visa was a bank that actually gives you the credit cards and they just go to other banks to sell it through and stuff like that. But actually it's the other way around. Other banks use Visa to sell Visa cards. Excuse me. So basically how it worked was the Bank of America card is, I'll start with Bank of America. Bank of America is a household name. It was a big bank, right? So after Bank of America came out with the Bank of America card and started using it, and it took over California where they first started it, other banks saw this like, hey, why? Some of the banks looked at like, hey, why not sell their card? And the reason for this is because back in the day when you had a credit card, you only could use it in the area that you're located in, mainly because that bank who you received the card from worked out a deal with the merchants in the area that their card could work with those merchants. So they make deals so that the card could work with them. By you taking that card and going somewhere else, maybe say your bank is Nick's bank. Nick's bank is maybe not set up where you're going to have your vacation. So they probably never negotiate, hey, look, you could use our cards with those merchants over there. So if you go to another place, the card wouldn't really work because it's not, there's no deal set for that type of store. So by Bank of America being a household name and having connections, the banks were like, hey, why not we, the Bank of America and the local banks, like, why not sell a Bank of America card instead of your own cards and just pay me for using my card? And that's what happened. The banks paid Bank of America for using their card. In return, the banks could just give out the Bank of America cards to their customers. And by doing this is really beneficial because if you're a customer, now you can go anywhere because all banks are trying to sell the same card. If they're all selling the same card, then that means all of them worked out deals with the local merchants in that area that this card could work with them. So now you have instead of you getting all these cards for different areas or knowing which areas you can go to, which area you can't to have money, now you can go anywhere because almost everyone is using the Bank of America card. And yes, now you go anywhere because everyone's using it, and most stores are accepting it because the banks are working out deals with all those local banks. So this worked for Bank of America because they got the licensing fee, and then other banks was doing the hard work of getting their cards accepted in local merchants in their areas. And and then the other banks made money too. It's beneficial for them because now they're making money because all they have to do is give out one card, and the customer can go wherever. And the customer is beneficial because the customer can now go wherever he or she wants to go, and they don't have to really pick out, okay, can I go here, can I go there, like where can I go, which area accepts this card. Now you should go wherever because everyone's using that card. I hope I explained it right and good for you guys. Let's move on to the next part, which is going to be that this basically got so big that the other banks selling the Bank of America card and the Bank of America being the number one card. This made the card so popular that other banks who didn't want to buy the card, who didn't want to do the licensing, now they're being forced to have to get into it and get the Bank of America card because that's what the customers want. They don't want their card, they want the Bank of America card. And so now other banks so the banks who didn't want to get into it, they're being forced. And so that's where it starts. That's where it starts, but that's where it starts to happen. Was that it's got so big, people who didn't want to be involved got involved. Fun fact: did you know Visa cards are in the hand of one of every two people? And as a 22-year-old who talks to people in their cars, I am one of those two people. Let me know down below if you are one of those two people. Also, fun fact, did you know Visa is one of the world's most valuable companies ever? In 1900s, I don't know what number I put right there. I'm sorry about that. A bunch of banks, I believe I put 70. A bunch of banks who were licensing the Bank of America card, they got together and created the National Bank America card. Bank America card, Incorporated, with D. Hock as the founder. In 1970, a committee led by D. Hock negotiated with Bank of America to give them the control of the Bank of America card. Excuse me. After some negotiated, on June 1970, the Bank of America gave up the control of the program. Although Bank of America gave up the control of it, they still kept control of the international side, but gave up the United States side of the program. Then in 1974, Bank of America gave up control of the international part, which then led to the NBI, National Bank America Incorporated, with full control of the National Bank America card in both United States and international. Soon, the Bank of America card Incorporated changed their name to Visa. The reason for the name change is because it's easier to pronounce in any region you are in the world. It's not grounded to any place. It's just an easy word that anybody can basically say. And Visa is headquartered in San Francisco, California. So I did not know Visa started from Bank of America card. I didn't know Bank of America had a Bank of America card either. So that's why I like doing these types of videos, because you get to learn stuff that otherwise you may have never learned before. I hope you guys you guys should write down in the comment below, what have you learned? You find it interesting or something, just let me know. And so I can work on what type of research, how I can get better at doing the research for talking about different stocks and businesses for you guys. Let's get to the stock. The last time I looked at the price, it was $213.53. The market cap is $470 billion. The ticker symbol is V. The volume is 7 million. Fun fact, before the credit card, did you know there was the charge card? Because I did not know that. I found that out while doing this. The charge card is actually a little bit different from the credit card. Because the charge card, it had to be paid back by the end of the month in full. But it did not have interest rates, which I thought all credit cards had interest rate. This one didn't. Let's start with the earnings per share now. In quarter one of 2020, Visa estimated that they'll make $1.38. They actually made $1.41. In quarter two, they estimate that they'll make $1.03, and then they actually made $1.07, beating the earnings by 4. Quarter three, they estimate that they'll make $1.09, and they actually made $1.12, beat it again by 3. Oh, I'm sorry. In quarter two, they beat it by 4 cents, and then quarter three, they beat it by 3 cents. And then in quarter four, they estimate that they'll make $1.28, and they actually made $1.42, and they beat earnings per share by 14 cents. Now we get to the dividends, which is one of my favorite things about all stocks. Imagine buying something and it pays you back. I don't know what else does besides the dividend or investments, but I love me some dividends. To me, that's the extra income. So I just picked the dates for 2020. The first one was November 12th, 2020. They paid you 32 cents. August 13th, they paid you 30 cents. May 13th, they paid you 30 cents. And then February 13th, they paid you 30 cents. Now let's get to the CEO. The CEO is Alfred Kelly. Next, this guy goes by many titles as Executive Vice President, CFO. If you guys don't know what CFO is, Chief Financial Advisor, Officer, member of Executive Committee, and Vice Chairman. All these titles belong to Vincent, I hope I say his last name right, Prabhu. Visa has about 19,500 employees. 0.11% of shares are held by insiders. 96.2% is held by all institutions. 3,691 institutions make up that 96%. Fun fact: in 2014, Visa teamed up with Apple to incorporate the mobile wallet. Top 3 institution holders are Vanguard Group Incorporated as number 1, BlackRock as number 2, and then Price T. Rowe Associates Incorporated as number 3. These are just the top holders who own the most shares into Visa. Also, another thing I like to do is pick the 3 prices. I usually pick the 3 prices from random times throughout the year. Either I go 5 years back, maybe I go a year back. I go 3 years back, or maybe I go a couple months back. But I like to pick out 3 prices. These prices I picked out in 2020. The first one was March 30th, 2020. The stock was $151.85. October 26th, the stock was $181.71. December 28th, the stock was $218.73. And I do this to see, like, is the stock growing? How is the stock moving within the past couple of years and months? The income. I'm just going to talk about the first part of the income, like what billions is that? I'm not going to go into the millions. So in 2017, the total revenue was $18 billion. Cost of revenue is $3 billion. Gross profit, $15 billion. Operating expense, $2 billion. So to me, that looks pretty good. 2018, the total revenue was $20 billion. Cost of revenue, $3 billion. Gross profit, $16 billion. And then cost of expenses is $3 billion. So as you can see, the total revenue increased about $2 billion. The cost of revenue increased about a couple hundred millions. But I'm gonna let that be for right now. Gross profit increased about $1 billion, and the operating expense increased about $1 billion also. 2019, the total revenue was $22 billion. The total revenue was $22 billion. 2019. The cost of revenue was $4 billion. The gross profit was $18 billion, and then the damage. Why am I talking about damage? Sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired. I just got out of work. So now in 2020, damage. I'm so confused. Okay, so total revenue in 2019 was $22 billion. So you can see that it increased by $2 billion from 2018 to 2019. The total revenue. The cost of revenue increased by $1 billion. The gross profit increased by $2 billion from $16 billion to $18 billion, and the operating expense went up a couple hundreds of millions. 2020. The total revenue was $21 billion. Cost of revenue was $4 billion. Gross profit $17 billion, and operating expense $3 billion. So you can see that the total revenue decreased about $1 billion. The cost of revenue increased about a couple hundreds of millions. The gross profit decreased about $1 billion, and then the operating expense increased. The operating expense increased about. The operating expense decreased about $200 million. Now I want to get into what does Visa own. Before I start, what do you guys think Visa owns? Okay, so Visa owns Visa Europe, Verify, Earthport, and PayWorks. Fun fact: interest charged on Visa brand cards goes to the institution issuing the card. So if you get charged by the cards, it's actually not going to Visa, it's actually going to the bank you got the card from. Next, one of my favorite parts about stocks: assets versus liabilities. Which one you think they have more? Visa has about $80 billion in total assets, which is all the assets combined, Their total assets is 80 billion. Their total liabilities are 44 billion. Their current assets is 27,000, and then your current girlfriend is sorry, I was looking at the thing. I was just rereading it to make sure. Okay, sorry, I just got a little bit lost. So the total where I left off. So sorry guys, I'm beyond exhausted. So the total liabilities is 44 billion. Total just means everything. Current for assets is 27 billion, and the current liabilities is 14 billion. If you guys did the math on it, I'll tell you a secret. I like this a lot because all the assets are at least 2 times higher than the almost 2 times higher. Sorry, are almost 2 times higher than all the liabilities, either total or current. The assets are almost 2 times higher, which is something that's really good. You want to see. How does Visa make its money? Visa profits from selling the services as a middleman between the merchant and the financial institution. So they get like little fees when people make transactions and stuff like that. So fun fact: there are 328 million people who live in the U.S. and there are 335 million who have a Visa card. So there's more people who have a Visa card than lives in the U.S. Goals and values. Visa values are integrity and innovation. And that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to make this quick video just to throw it up. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. Learn something new. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I just came out of work, very exhausted. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay tuned for more.